G's. I'm going to repeat that. That's big with 2 G's. So we here with another episode of the BiGG Umbrella. That's big 2 G's. I'm going to say that one more time. That's big 2 G's, BiGG Umbrella Podcast. We here with Big Bands. I'm going to let him introduce himself and do his thing.
Yeah, you already know the vibe. It's your boy Big Bands. Y'all can tap in with me on IG and all social media platforms. Big Bands 848. Yeah, man, we out here. I'm really happy to be on here. You know, once they tapped in, I was super excited. And yeah, man, y'all got a dope thing going on for sure.
For sure. So definitely. So I know your name is Sandro. I know a lot of other people know you as Big Bands. So more so I'm going to just get into who you are and like how you're coming up and everything like that. So I know you grew up in New Jersey. How was you living in New Jersey?
Okay, so first off, my parents, like my mom, she's Puerto Rican, born in Brooklyn, New York. My dad, he's Dominican. He's from Dominican Republic, but then, immigrated over here, and so I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican. I came from Jersey. I grew up there until I was 17, and then I actually joined the military. Yeah, I used to be in the service. I was in the Marines. I did that, and I did 4 years, and I ended up getting stationed out here in San Diego in California. And once I got out, I just started doing my thing with the barbering, because I used to barber before in Jersey,
in military too,
and in the military. So the barber journey for me started 15 years old. One day I cut my dad's hair. He was like, "Damn, do you have a liking?"
Trusted you, huh?
Yeah, because I was already lining myself up.
Yeah,
you feel me?
Oh shit, you in the mirror with yourself?
I used to get haircuts often. I would ask my mom for money for haircuts. You know what I mean? And after a while, she was like, "Look, I can't give you no money for no 3 haircuts a week.
You better get this shit together.
You better figure something out." So then I was like, it came to my head. I don't know why. I was like, let me go buy a straight razor real quick. See if I go to the barber all the time. I see what he be doing to me. I feel like I could figure this out, right? And that's what I did. I bought the razor. I started lining myself up, lining kids around the neighborhood up. I used to barter all the time. Yeah. That's how I learned how to barter. I feel
I got this.
I could do this. I'll give you a couple haircuts. You give me a shirt or something, whatever. You know what I mean? And then one day that led to my dad knowing that I cut hair, and he was like, "You want to cut me up?" And I cut him up, and he seen I had an interest, and he basically put me on with his brother-in-law that owned a salon over there. Damn. And it was crazy because I was just turned 15. It was not legal, or none of that to be working like that. You know what I mean? So I was like, fuck it. I really want to learn. And I started going, and I thought I was going to be when you're young, you think you're just going to blow up real fast.
Oh man, I'm like, get it jumping.
None of my friends have a job like this. I have a job. It's crazy. So, I started working there and whatnot, and I remember it was just horrible. I was not.
It was horrible. It wasn't even what he thought.
I was not successful. People weren't fucking with me. You know what I mean? They weren't tapping in for the cuts.
Right. I mean, that's just from the beginning type shit.
Because it's I'm mad young.
Right. They're like, oh, what is this young shit gonna do? And gonna push my shit back.
It's crazy, man. It's just crazy. I feel like everything happened for a reason, and everything that happened kind of just leads you to where you at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's
I know
a wild story.
You talk about that was about your dad right there. I know your dad, he also put you on low key, he was selling CDs and shit.
So he used to have a store, right? Back in the 90s, it was a telecommunication store. Mm-hmm. So basically there used to be stores back in the 90s, and it was you can go there and you can make they have phone booths, because cell phones and beepers were still out.
Obviously.
You feel me?
Back in them days.
So people would go to the store, they would pay to use the phone and make long distance phone calls to relatives in other countries and stuff like that. It had a bunch of different services, you feel me? He would sell beepers, the phone calls, copies of keys, beverages, candies, but he had a whole wall where he had CDs, because people used to buy CDs and have CDs. So I feel like it definitely influenced me to lean into just being an entrepreneur and having my own businesses. Instead of not doing that, the other route. What I mean?
We know what the other route is,
which is cool. I'm not saying it's everybody got their own path, and I feel like this was my path. Yeah, you know what I mean.
So you tight with your dad. What's your relationship like with your mom?
I say it's even tighter.
That's what I'm saying. I'm mad tight with my mom.
I'm super tight with my moms. I'm super tight with my dad too. But it's just like, I don't know, that's just the dynamic of
Yeah,
it, I
that's a different
guess.
thing,
You
just with your
know,
mom.
with my mom, we talk every day. I talk every day with my dad, but like my mom, she's like always the voice of reason for me, and like, I
It's
don't
just
know,
two different
dynamics,
exactly.
you know, like,
and you need both of them.
like she sharpens me in one way and he sharpens me in another way. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? And that's I don't think like one is better or worse. I just think,
Of course, and we're not
you
even
know?
gonna do that with
Yeah,
mom and
yeah.
dad. If they hear this,
Nah,
and
they gonna be like,
nah.
how you gonna say that?
Exactly, we're not even
I'm
gonna
get
do
the
none
call
of that.
ASAP.
So I know you was in the military. What led you out of the military? Like, what? How come you stop?
Bro, so like, I'm gonna keep it.
How long you was in there? You said 4?
I was in 4 years.
Okay, for sure.
4 years. So it's a crazy story, bro. Like, I used to be in the Marines, but I had a whole different mindset and a whole different perspective on just like life and everything. I was way more, I'd say, like, just ignorant to a lot of things about life. And I made a lot of wrong choices, you feel me? So
In the military?
in the military,
for sure.
and it led me to getting kicked out of the military. I got separated. I didn't get like an honorable discharge or nothing like that.
So they wasn't trying to mess. They wasn't giving you no type of.
Yeah, and like, I remember when I got kicked out, bro, like, no cap, I remember I had like no job, no money. I had
you
to
was
like,
broke at this point. You like, oh,
I
they
lost
not
my
helping
apartment
me.
like a week later.
Ooh.
The landlord was like,
well, what you want me to do?
She was, I remember like yesterday, she was like, if you don't pay the rent today, like, you could she was trying to help us out. She was like, you could just move out and it won't go on your record or nothing. And I was like, bet, like, let me just move out.
At least give me that.
Because if I get on the record, then how am I gonna get the new spot? You know what I mean? It's gonna be difficult or whatever.
That rent looking like you're not paying.
Yeah. So it was a crazy ass time. And I had already knew that I was getting kicked out, you know, during the time, you know, I knew it was coming. So in my head, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just be a barber, because I used to cut in the military, right? And one thing I noticed was like, all right, I'm in this state and people are fucking with my haircuts. I go to another state, people are fucking with my haircuts. I be in different ass places, like, cutting different ass people, you feel me? All different walks of life, all different types of races or whatever. And it was always like positive, like they were really fucking with it. It wasn't just like, oh, it was cool. It was like, nah, like,
I'm coming back.
This is the best haircut I've ever had. You know, I used to get a lot of that or whatever. So then it was really boosting my confidence that by the time I ended up getting kicked out and I had to figure out, all right, what's the next step for my life? I just dove right into becoming a barber, you know?
What made you even come out here to San Diego?
So this is where I got stationed.
Oh, okay.
I was stationed at Miramar, a little up north, you know?
Right.
That's where I got stationed. I used to work on the radar systems for like F-18 jets.
I don't even know nothing about that. I'm gonna be 100.
Yeah, it's like avionics.
Yep. All right. Know? Avionics. That's what we're talking about.
I saw. Crazy.
I happened to watch one of the episodes of the podcast, and you ended up choosing. You had to go from the East Coast to West Coast, and it was like ended up being because of like shorty and stuff.
Oh yeah, man. You know, you be in love.
Yeah.
You know, love be leading you places sometimes, and it's crazy. So, yeah, man. I used to have a shorty, no names or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
we don't need to know that.
I had a shorty. She ended up playing me and getting pregnant by my cousin, and it was crazy.
Oh dang! Okay, I didn't even know it was going there.
Yeah,
It
was crazy. And what was so crazy about the whole situation, like, I feel like shit like that happens. That situation might not be super common, but like, I'm sure it's happened to other people.
Of course.
But it was crazy how it went down, because the way I even found out, like, you remember MySpace?
Of course.
Everybody had MySpace.
Top 3, top 5.
Everybody had MySpace back in the days, right?
Yeah.
So I used to have MySpace, and then my cousin's fucking his girl at the time, she hit me up like on some like, yo, she made a fake profile of my girlfriend with like pictures that were exposing of her.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she hit me up on that, like, yo, I don't know if you know what's going on, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
This is what's happening. And I was like, what? And the dynamic of the whole situation was crazy, because like the day I found that out, the following day I had to choose, like, and you don't really have a choice in the military, but like they ask you like, what's your most place you want to go? And like top three locations that you would like to get stationed at. And before that, my top choice was gonna be East Coast, because I was like, I got a shorty, and like, I mean, mad traditional vibes or whatever. And then I found that out the night before I had to go choose. So the next day, I was like, yo, I'm gonna do West Coast.
And then that was it. It was like
I'ma go to
this.
the
Me,
West
me
Coast.
telling you I'm going West Coast is like,
Cause I don't know. I feel like I learned at an early age, like change. A lot of good shit be coming from change.
yes.
I
feel it's a stage you
it's
have
powerful.
to go through.
It could be good things or bad things. You can
Yeah.
change for the worse. You know what I mean? But like, I feel like if you focus on you and you really love yourself and make the right choices, good things will come from change.
Self-love, that's major. That's major.
Yeah, bro.
For
Straight
sure.
up.
I also had a question. It was like, so you was like, when you like dirt broke, all that, what even keep you going to want to be like, you know what, I'm gonna believe in myself and I could do this?
I don't, it's crazy. Like, I always felt like I always believed in myself. I always thought like more of myself, not like in a cocky way, but like on some like, I know that I can attain things because I had seen, people real close to me attain things at an early age. I feel like that definitely inspired me. I had uncles very successful, other family members, really doing big things or whatever. And I don't know. I feel like the way I was raised, my mom, her energy, she's super positive. It instilled positivity into me.
Right.
I'm not like a person that's like, doesn't believe in people. I be believing in people. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
I
see,
I hype people up.
I see the potential in people. I feel like it's like a gift of mine, no cap. And as far as like the drive that like what kept me going through those hard times, I think, I used to tell myself, I remember I used to tell myself every day, whenever I would have a rough situation, it's gonna sound cliche or whatever, but I used to be like, I would just say it out loud to myself. I would say, yo, God, I trust in you.
And positive affirmations.
I'm telling you, I have hard, like, court cases, like criminal
real
vibes,
shit
real shit going down. I'm losing a lot of things. And I would always just, in the hardest moments, my dad, I remember I called him and he told me, he was like, just trust me, just trust in him,
Trust in God.
And I was like, damn, that it really got me through a lot of things, doing shit like that. And I felt like I wanted better for myself. At the end of the day, like I could have just been somebody that was like letting things happen to them or whatever, but I tried to be active and proactive towards making a difference, changing it. And I had a lot of good people too, like in those hard times, like when the story I was telling you when I got evicted or whatever, I was with a shorty at the time, and I remember I met her mom that day. That was the first time I had ever met her mom. You feel me?
Oh, wow.
Like the day, like
when all that went down.
I'm getting evicted. Yo, mom, my boyfriend don't have a place to stay.
Yeah.
And you know what that lady did? She let me stay there, bro.
So that's how you knew it was like, okay, this is some
I just felt like, I still got love for that lady. Like her mom or whatever, like mad respect. Because she didn't have to do that. You feel me? She really didn't have to do that. And so yeah, like those are things that help you feel like, yo, like it could work. Like there's possibility. I can't lose hope. You know what I mean? Hope keeps you going.
Now with you coming out here to San Diego, like when did you even get your first barbershop?
Okay, so let me just take a sip, bro.
Nah, handle.
So I got kicked out of the military, lose everything. In 2013, from 2012 to 2013, I had transitioned out to just being a civilian or whatever, in society.
Right.
Lost everything. And then I actually applied for a grant from the government to go to barber college, and they pay the majority of your tuition.
Yeah.
And I think I had to pay like $100 a month for 9 months.
And which barber college was that? I
went to California Barber and Beauty School or Academy. I forget the name, but it's right there on El Cajon Boulevard. Great place. If you're trying to be a barber, tap in, tell them I sent you. They'll be hyped up. Yeah, bro. That's where I got my start. So 2013, by the time 2013 hit, I got my license, and I started working at this other barbershop that used to be in Horton Plaza in downtown, inside of the mall. And I started working there, and I started doing my thing. Started just building, taking off.
Yeah.
And probably like a couple months of working there, I became the manager of the barbershop.
Damn, within a couple months.
In a couple
you
months.
was moving.
Couple months.
So they saw your talents off top.
Because the thing is, it's like, when you experience like, yo, I don't know where I'm gonna stay tonight. Yo, I don't have no money to go get a meal right now. When you get an opportunity again, like you get another shot, like, oh, I have a job and there's potential in the job to make bread. You don't be slipping on that. I remember in those days, I work 7 days a week, every day. I want to take no days off. I work from when it opened till it closed. And I did that for years until I had my barbershop, and then I continued to do it. But as far as the timeline, 2013, working a couple months, I became a manager at the shop, and then I transferred to a busier location, the Plaza Bonita location.
Same barbershop.
Same company. Yeah, it's called Fresh Up. Mad love, mad respect. Sergio, you already know the vibe. But yeah, I started working there, and right there, I was booming, you know, for the time. Like, I was probably generating like anywhere from like 2,000 a week to like best week 3,000 in a week.
Doing your thing.
Cutting hair, right? So one day my dad came to visit me. He came for like the weekend.
He came
from Jersey. Yeah, he came from Jersey to come visit me. He sees me, you know what I'm doing.
Like, he popped up on you, you already knew he was coming out?
I knew he was coming. Okay. I knew he was coming. He used to do that to me as a kid or when I was younger. And I just didn't like it because it was like, come on, like you just popping in.
Yeah.
I might have some stuff going on. You know what I mean? Like, just let me know, you know? But yeah, he let me know and everything. And when he got here, I remember he had told me he had seen the bread I was making and like, you know, the clientele and all of that stuff. And he was like, why you don't have your own business? You know, like he was not even on some like mean shit or nothing. Nah. It was just like it almost surprised him.
He's like, wait, you doing all this, but you got your own place now?
Yeah.
I ain't trying to talk bad to you, son.
Yeah.
You need to get that on.
So literally the next day, we started looking at locations. I probably looked at like over 50 locations, bro, with my dad. You know, we looked at a bunch of spots. Then we came across this location here, and
This was Supreme.
Supreme, okay. Yeah, Supreme Barbershop. It was 2 spaces down. I opened it up 2015. Yeah.
And now it's been open ever since that.
Yeah, so I had it open for over like 7 years, like 7.5 years, something like that. And then I told you the whole situation with the lease and then how I consolidated and I put everything in here. And yeah, man, it's exciting, bro, because it's like, I feel like before when I had the 2, I used to like, I don't know, I had to build a lot of other people's brands, but now I'm in a lane where I'm just building my brand. Like all my efforts go to my brand because it's really hard to like build other people's brands, especially if like they're not on the same vibe, you know, or like they're not like disciplined and shit like that. So
and then when you think about it, like your dad said, like you building his shit, you could be doing your own building.
Yeah. I just feel like that's where I'm at in my lane, and I'm really excited for it because the fruits of like. I always tell people, they're like, yo, you think I should open a business? I'd be like, yeah, you should, because you're probably not going to quit on yourself, you know?
There you go.
I always be telling people that, and it's like...
That's a gem.
That's a gem, bro.
As long as y'all not going to quit on yourself.
Yeah, but like, most people, they won't quit on themselves, you know what I mean, generally. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like you got to go for it, bro. You got to take your shot.
Low-key brought you to now making this a studio.
Yeah, so the studio shit, right? I was a barber. I have hella barbers, you know, probably like 8 barbers at a time, 10 barbers, 6 barbers. There would be waves, right? Depending on the economy and all type of stuff. And I would always attract like, I feel like people that made music, like artists and shit like that. Like I have a lot of clients that are like artists, local artists or whatever. And then I started attracting barbers that were artists, right? So then there was a barber, his name was Chris. He used to work at the shop with me, and he used to make like reggaeton music, but he would make hip hop and he would make beats and he would mix himself and all this crazy shit.
He was on top of it.
He was on his shit, you know? And he kind of like put me on to like, yo, this is how it's done, because I always wanted to make music, but it's kind of like, if you don't know like how to do it, it's kind of like, what do you do?
That's like a lot of stuff.
Like how do you even make a song? Exactly. How do people record? How do they make it sound tight? You know, like beats, where do you get that from? Like,
exactly. Who do I talk to about this? Like, I get it.
Yeah. So like, I had no clue about like how to do it, but I knew like, I thought the shit was fire. I always see myself in the light of like, oh, I'm an artist. Like,
and you have people coming in that's like doing it, so it's like, okay, I'm getting
I'm seeing the vibe, you know what I mean? And so I was working in the shop and all this stuff started happening, and then I met that barber that made music, and then it inspired me to like get my own equipment. Cause I at first I was like, let me use your shit. Like, let's make a beat together. You know what I mean? And I started getting hooked. And I was like, fuck that. I'm gonna go get my own shit. You know what I mean? And I started buying equipment. I got like an interface, 2 speakers, you know, and a laptop and some headphones and a microphone. And I bought the microphone from that guy. And then I started doing it at my house. And then I don't know, I was real good at like hosting and like shit like that. So like I would always have people over the crib, and they would come over, have a vibe, try and record, let me make a beat. We would make beats together. I would collab a lot with producers when I was first starting off.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking to myself, like, people started tapping in for the services of recording, you know, with me. Like people were like, yo, like you got some dope shit. Like let's record. Like I fuck with this. So it got me thinking like, yo, if I could like make the sales, how I be making the sales with the haircuts, shit'll go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Cause for one, I love cutting hair. That's my passion. You know, I could do that. Doesn't even feel like work to me. And with music, it's like the same vibe, you know, that I get. So
doing something you love.
So if I could generate income from it, it's like a blessing, you know? So I just put it in my head, and I started thinking about like, you know, when I was younger, I feel like I had a lot of problems because I wouldn't design my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't think about like, I would just think like, yo, I want to make 100K in a year, right? But then I don't think about like what comes with that. How you gonna be living day to day? How's it gonna feel? Do you even want to wake up mad early every day? Do you want to like have to commute? Do you want to have to do any of this kind of shit, right?
You just saw the big picture.
Yeah, I was just like, ooh, I want that, but like I don't want like those kind of things in my life. So when I got older, I feel like I started designing my life more. And when it came time to me like wanting to open a second business, I was really conscious of those things. Like that's why I put them like right next to each other. Yeah. Because I felt like managing it would be like a breeze. You know what I mean? I'm always here. They're really close. Something happens here, I'm not far. Exactly. You know what I mean?
You could do
as opposed to like putting one across town or something like that, which is cool too, but it was just not the business model that I was following at the time. You know what I mean?
So I also had a question. Correct me if I'm wrong. You cut up the Padre players.
I've cut up Padre players, other baseball players. I've cut up football players.
How the hell they even connect you with a Padre player?
All right, so the Padre player connection, the Padre players. The first Major League Baseball player I ever cut was on the Padres. His name was Yangervis Solarte. I don't think he's in the majors anymore, but great guy. You know, he put me onto a lot of stuff. But the guy that introduced me to him was this DJ. His name is Brian. His DJ thing is La Mafia, Brian La Mafia. And he was DJing for the Padres. He would DJ at like Latin clubs, and then he ended up DJing at the Padres. Yeah. Right? So I remember I was mad cool with him, you know, like a homie. He's the same culture. He's Dominican. I'm Dominican. We connect. And I would just tell him because I was really on beast mode with the barbering. Yeah. You know, like I promote everywhere. Everybody know me as a barber, right? So
as a barber, do they know you as Sandro or Big Band still?
I feel like my barber people, they're like Sandro, but the Big Band's conversion is happening. You know what I mean? Presently. Yeah. But yeah, so I went to the club one night, and I'm like, I'm talking to the DJ, and I'm like, bro, put me on with one of the dudes, bro.
Any one of them.
Any one of them, I don't care. Like, just fuck, like, you know.
Because like I know I do my thing, so they gonna like it.
Yeah, and it's like he knows like I take it serious. Like it's not like I don't be messing around with it. So yeah, like the next day or something like that, I forget. It might have been a week later. He hits me up, and what was crazy. When he hits me up, I was like busy doing something else. Like my mind wasn't really on. He was just like, yo, my friend needs a haircut. But at the time, I didn't like read all the messages. Like he had said it was a Padre player, but like I didn't see those notifications. I was just like, I responded to the first message like, yeah, I'll be right there. I'll see you then. That was like the end. And then I didn't see the rest.
You didn't even know who it was at that point.
I didn't know who it was. So I'm thinking it's just a friend, right? Yeah. So he gets there, and I'm cutting him, and I'm like, this is like like I can't recognize the vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's like what even gave you that feeling? Like
it's like mannerisms, the drip, like just like real sharp dude. Right. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I had like went to my phone in the middle of I was like already almost done with the cut, thank God, because it probably would have like I might have been nervous or something. But I seen the messages and I was like, oh shit, this is crazy.
This is oh.
I'm like,
okay.
Oh shit, and I just kept cutting.
After he was like, oh shit, I know this is now.
Yeah, and then that dude, he put me on to like, he took me to the World Baseball Classic. Do you know what that is? The World Baseball. It's like a tournament of the major leagues, and basically all the teams, they represent their country. So they'll be like Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Venezuela.
Like the Olympics.
It's like the Olympics, but baseball or whatever. And there was, in that year, they did it here in San Diego, and
oh damn,
the dude was playing for the Venezuelan team. So I was like, yo, if I could get in the stadium, right, do some haircuts, right, like it could be lit, right? Yeah. And so boom, the series, it started, the games are happening, and I was already cutting up that guy that I told you, Young Hervis, and I remember I went to the club and I seen him and I was kind of lit. You know what I'm saying? Right. I was feeling myself. Yeah. I had a great vibe. I had just went to the game. Yeah. And then I was chilling with the DJ, the Padres DJ, and the dude shows up that I cut.
So you did make it in that place then?
What was that?
For that like Olympic type baseball.
So I'm gonna get to that.
Okay. Right now.
So I go to the club after the game, right? And I see the DJ and Young Hervis, the player the first Padre player I cut up. He's in there. I'm vibing. I'm lit. We chilling. And I was just like, bro, like, I'm going to just tell this fool. Because you know what I mean? Like, like a closed mouth don't get fed.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Gotta speak up.
I feel like sometimes you just got to say it. Like, if you see somebody, I don't know, man, you got to take your shot. You got to take your shot. So I remember you might not get it again. Opportunities don't always come. But if they present themselves, you got to take advantage.
You said earlier, I got to take advantage of that.
You got to take advantage when it presents itself. So I was kind of lit. I was like, yo, bro, honestly, that when you really want to like press something, you be like,
bro, I'm gonna keep it real.
Honestly, you know,
like for real. You gotta say it 2 times. This shit.
Can you plug me tomorrow at the game? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be in there. I'm trying to cut other people. You know, I'm trying to grow, brother.
Exactly. Help me grow.
Yeah, and I told him, and he's like, bro, I got you. Like not even tripping.
Like, bro,
on some shit. Like I was like, he not even gonna do it, man.
Right.
Like that shit was too smooth.
He said it was not,
you know?
I got you. Like,
so the next day comes, the next game, I'm freaking hyped up. I'm expecting a call, right? No call. I'm like, fuck. The next day after that, another game. I'm not expecting a call at this point. I'm busy. I probably had like 6, 7 people waiting for me, right? At the shop.
Ooh.
He calls me. He's like, yo, can you be at the stadium in 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Mind you, I got like hella people waiting for me, right? I say yes, right? Immediately. Boom, boom, boom. I finished the cut I was on. I talked to the people on the couch and shit. I'm like, look,
exactly.
This is what just happened right now. What would you guys do? They were like, bro, go. Like, that's crazy. You know?
I'll be back tomorrow,
and I was like,
whatever.
I got you guys even later tonight. Just like,
damn,
fuck with me.
Told him I even do it later tonight.
Yeah, bro. Come on, you got it.
Damn.
Those people support me on the daily.
Right.
Those opportunities that I'm getting, they're amazing. Right. And they do a lot for you. But I can't shit on the people that every week they be right there holding me down, you know?
That's what brought you up.
That's what brought you up.
That's what kept you going.
You can't forget about those people or whatever. And so, yeah, they understood. And then I went, and then it was a dope-ass experience. I got to be in the locker room of the Padres with the Venezuelan team. Had Venezuelan players from all over the major leagues. And crazy barber experience, too, because, like, I don't know if you guys know, but, like, a baseball player or, like, a pro athlete, when they're, like, in the stadium, shit is on schedule. Like, they don't have, like, just mad free time to just be chilling.
You're not just getting in there and just posting up in the locker room.
Nah, like, they're going to meetings, pitching meetings. People are pulling them here, pulling them there. So it was a lot of pressure for me as a barber. And I feel like I'm pretty high-level barber. So when I got that opportunity, it was crazy because I was doing haircuts like no more than 10 minutes. Haircut and a beard.
Full thing.
Yeah, and it's like, it's a crazy balance because I need to give a product that's good.
And you fading, lining.
Lining them up, color enhancement, you know, on the paint and all that. Doing all of that. 10 minutes, boom, I gotta go to pitching meeting. I gotta go here. Get me right. And yeah, I probably did like 7 haircuts. Like mad fast, like in an hour.
God damn. Well, that like you said, that was a blessing for that to even come your way, and you took a whole opportunity and made the best of that.
Yeah. I mean, you know, they say make your opportunity, and I feel like that's like a little play right there. Like
That's exactly what
you
you
see
did.
somebody in a position that you want to be in, like you gotta tap in.
So that brings me to my next thing. Now, since you got the studio going, what even made you like, now I want to start making movies? I want to start making music.
So I opened the studio. I had already been like making beats and you know, recording with people, and then I got into recording my own vocals. I'd say like people that inspire me to make music are like artists. I have a lot of people, but like I'm a Drake guy. I love the Drake vibe.
The smooth shit.
I like smooth R&B. I grew up like all type of influences, Spanish music, a lot of hip hop, a lot of rap. I love Outkast, Andre 3000.
Oh yeah.
Goody Mob, all of that vibe. If you ask me top 5, like Andre 3 Stacks is like up there. I like Fabulous. Fabulous, he ranks really high to me.
Yeah.
You know, his wordplay, the
I
bars.
like that a lot about Fabulous. His wordplay, how he play like.
He's just so smooth with it. Even his new shit, like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I like that shit. The same thing. Is it any artists out here in San Diego that you want to work with? If it ain't, I mean, it ain't.
I'm trying to think who. There's this guy. He has a song. What is it? Like Take You Down to San Diego or something like that. What? I forget this. I forget his name. I feel bad.
San Diego artist myself,
but that song is a vibe. It's a vibe. I'm gonna send you it when I find it later.
There we go. So whomever that is. Now, is there any artist that you in San Diego that you have worked with?
Yeah, like, you know, I'm with Swab City. So Swab City is kind of like a collective. Rossi Rock, you know. I work with Rossi, Sebi OG, Salsalini. I work with a lot of other people too, just like in having the studio and collabing.
Yeah.
Because when I first opened the studio, it was a lot different than this. Like, I didn't have mad equipment. I started it mad like
from the bottom.
That's how I start my businesses. Like I get in there with like nothing, and then see what it turns into. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I work with a lot of artists out here for sure. Like all types of music.
That one story that you touched on with 24.
Yeah.
Can you tell that story again?
Yeah. So crazy shit. I was a big 24 Hours fan, right? Before I even made music, you know, like I was only a barber, and I remember I went up to do a barber battle up in Long Beach. I had won the barber battle. I'm feeling amazing. Vibe is lit. I'm driving back now from LA to San Diego, and I was bumping, I forget what song I was bumping, but it was like one of his projects or whatever. And I was talking to my camera guy, and I was like, bro, it would be so lit, like if I could ever work like with 24 Hours or some shit like that, right? Or like even like be in the studio and see how he be making music and like learn game from him or whatever. And bro, fast forward like 2 years from that conversation, I end up going to the studio where 24 Hours was recording, and he got on a song that I'm on, and I was like, wow, life is crazy, but life is perfect, bro.
To have everything happen when it's supposed to, even though when you think like, God damn, this ain't working, man. But it's like God gonna give it to you when he think that's when it's supposed to happen.
Yes, bro, for real. 100%.
What you feel one of your, I don't know if I want to say biggest or your favorite records that you've made out now?
Oh man, I'd say
take that one in whichever, biggest or favorite.
I'd say I really like my Getting Paid song. I have a song called Getting Paid. I really like that song. I feel like it performs well when I like doing a lot of shows. Like I'll go do a big show, little show. Yeah. I don't care.
You an entertainer.
I like to see like how is my shit hitting with people. You know what I mean? Like, do they fuck with this? Do they fuck with this style? Because I make all types of music. You know, I don't put out all types of music, but I be making all types. You feel me? So I like to really see what was hitting out there and what people are vibing to, and it kind of helps like lead me in different directions. You know what I mean?
Hello. With you like more than music, I know now like you kind of put out the little funny shit and more so with the TikTok and all, and see if that shit hitting.
Yeah. So the funny shit, it's like I like making funny shit, and
Yeah.
it's crazy because people be like, "Yo,
They wouldn't expect that. They'd be like,
yeah, they wouldn't
oh,
expect it. They wouldn't.
you
They
like
don't
that? You
expect
like doing
it.
that shit?
Yeah, bro. People don't expect it, but I definitely fuck with like creating content and making people laugh, and it's crazy because a lot of my followers they be DMing me like, "You be acting and shit like that,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Nah, I never even thought about it."
This
But
is
like,
you on a daily basis.
yeah, like I think I could fuck around and act at least on some funny shit.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, I like doing shit like that, and it's crazy because when I started doing shit like that, a lot of my numbers were kind of going crazy on the gram.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just gonna keep on doing what I'm doing, and keep building, keep growing.
If it's working for you.
Yeah, bro, straight up.
Is there any new projects you working on in music?
Yeah, bro. So I'm currently working on primarily Spanish project. It's gonna be like reggaeton,
Yeah.
It's called Mundial.
You work with any people out here in San Diego on that?
Yeah, all the features are like local artists or like people that I've met on the journey of having my studio. They either tapped in for studio time and I really fuck with their sound, and
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, like I'm gonna put you on my project or I'm gonna put you on this song.
You said this is more like reggaeton type.
Reggaeton, yeah, definitely some reggaeton. Kind of like, with Spanish music, my biggest inspirations are artists like Jay Cortez. I don't know if you guys are familiar. Bad Bunny.
Of course, he was out here in that Petco Park and had that.
Bad Bunny is
stadium
huge
booming.
inspiration, bro, because like, I used to live in Puerto Rico, so like, I know the vibes. I know the culture. Like it's my culture. So just to see somebody from over there reach such a high level, like there's nobody bigger than Bad Bunny in music.
That's for real.
He's number one artist in the world. Nobody.
That's crazy. That like, and you said like coming from that, like what it's like coming from that to see you at this level now.
And I just feel like it's natural to me. Like I don't even speak Spanish like all the time. I speak more English than Spanish. So there was definitely like a little learning curve as far as like making music in Spanish. But I definitely feel like since Spanish was my first language and that's my culture, like I definitely picked up on like melodies super easy.
So like, you make music in English and Spanish?
Yes. Yeah. So like the Spanish music, I feel like I pick up melodies really fast. With English, of course, the pronunciation and all that kind of stuff is really good for me. But with Spanish, I'm still getting comfortable with like the flows and the lyrics and delivery. But melodies, I pick up the melodies, no problem.
And that's dope. And you, like you said, you already put out a whole project. Is that whole thing in Spanish or that's mixed?
It's there's some Spanish English vibes, but yeah, it's all like Latin music type of vibe. I already have the whole project. I just like am finalizing things right now.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to pick a date. I was thinking about doing it like on Thanksgiving.
Oh, damn, that's coming soon then.
Yeah, Thanksgiving, or if not Thanksgiving, maybe Christmas. Like, I like to do it on days where people are just at the crib, you feel me?
Because that's when everybody gonna get together, then they're like, yo, look at this new shit we got. Then now everybody's family can hear it.
You know?
I see what you're saying.
So, I don't know, that's kind of what I've been thinking with that, but I still got to make like the cover art and stuff like that. Still conceptualizing.
For sure. Bro, definitely let them know where they can reach you out on the socials.
For sure. So yeah, man, I go by Big Bands. You can find me on social media platforms. Big Bands 848, BiGG BANDS 848. Make sure to tap in. I got music on all streaming platforms. Check out the link tree and the gram. Know what I mean? I got all my content. You can find me on YouTube. But yeah, man, tap in. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the good vibes. Make sure y'all stay positive, man. Tap in.
And that's, again, the BiGG Umbrella with 2 G's, the BiGG Umbrella with 2 G's podcast. It's a wrap. I think we straight. For sure.
Lit. Hell yeah, that was dope.
Man, I'm fucking glad that went as like I thought it was gonna fucking go.